Fashion is never just about clothes. Behind every trend, every designer, and every style movement is a story about people, culture, identity, and change. Welcome to Fashion Ethos, where we explore those stories and discover what fashion is really telling us about the world around us. Before we begin, if you do enjoy thoughtful fashion content like this, consider subscribing, liking this video, and sharing it with someone who loves fashion as much as you do. Your support helps Fashion Ethos reach more people and keeps these conversations growing. So, every revolution in music has been a revolution in clothing at exactly the same time. That's not a coincidence. Think about it. You cannot picture Elvis without the pink shirts. You cannot picture punk without the safety pins and the torn denim. You cannot even picture hip-hop's early years without the tracksuits, the gold chains, the Adidas without laces. The sound and the look actually arrived together, and they've always arrived together always because they were never really two separate things. They were the same energy expressing itself through two different mediums at once. And that's what I want to explore today. Not just how musicians influenced what people wore or how designers borrowed from music scenes, but something deeper than that. The reason these two worlds have always moved together, fed each other, needed each other in a way that tells us something true about how culture actually works, about why we dress the way we do, why we listen to what we listen to, and why both of those things say something about who we are and what we are trying to become. As a person who is interested in fashion or even music, you need to understand that the two were never separate. Before there were designers and producers and brandings, there were just people who made sounds and people who made clothes, and very often they were the same people, living in the same communities, working through the same feelings. The blues produced a sound and a way of dressing simultaneously, a specific kind of dignity in the way men wore their suits to juke joints in the American South, in communities where dignity was something you had to claim deliberately. The clothes and the music were doing the same work, saying the same thing. Jazz did the same thing in Harlem. The zoot suit was not just a fashion choice. It was a statement so powerful it eventually made people violent enough to riot over it. That pattern, a community, a sound, a look, all arriving as one expression of something that cannot be pulled apart, runs through every major music movement in history. Once you see it, you cannot unsee it. The second thing that you need to realize is music creates permission. On one hand, fashion has rules, while on the other hand, music has always been the thing that breaks them. Elvis wore pink and moved his hips in ways that television cameras were instructed not to show. He took elements of black musical culture and black style into mainstream white America at a moment when that crossing of lines was genuinely threatening to people who had invested in keeping them in place. Punk took everything fashion said clothes were supposed to communicate: respectability, aspiration, fitting in, and deliberately destroyed it. Safety pins, pin liners as skirts, mohawks, clothes designed to make people uncomfortable to signal refusal. That's not styling, that's ideology expressed through clothing. And it only became possible because the music had already created the permission. The music said it is acceptable to be angry and confrontational. The fashion then followed. Before Instagram, before TikTok, before anyone had thought of the word influencer, the musician was the most powerful style force in the world. Fashion advertising works by showing you something aspirational and asking you to want it. But music gets inside you before you have decided how you feel about it. And when an artist makes you feel something that true, you do not just want their music, you want to inhabit their world. David Bowie, for example, constructed complete worlds. Ziggy Stardust, Aladdin Sane, the thin white Duke, each one a total aesthetic system with its own sound, its own visual language, its own way of being in a body. Millions of people had never felt like they belonged anywhere, looked at Bowie and thought, I could exist there. Alia changed the visual language of femininity in the 1990s in ways still being referenced today. Kurt Cobain wore thrift store cardigans because he genuinely did not care about fashion, and that genuine not caring became one of the most influential aesthetic positions of the decade. The music created the feeling. The clothes were how people carried that feeling into their daily lives. Number 4. Hip-hop's specific story. Hip-hop deserves its own section because it did not just influence fashion, it eventually took it over. In the 1980s, luxury brands were not interested in hip-hop. They were actively hostile to the association. So the community responded creatively. We had Dapper Dan, who opened a boutique in Harlem and started making custom garments using luxury brand logos, taking the visual language of Gucci and Louis Vuitton and remaking it into something that spoke to his community. The brands tried to shut him down, but he kept going. Decades later, Gucci came back to collaborate with him because the culture had shifted underneath them. Pharrell Williams became a creative director at Louis Vuitton. Virgil became the first black artistic director of Louis Vuitton menswear. The community luxury fashion had spent decades ignoring was now running some of the most prestigious houses in the world. That's not just a fashion story, that's a power story, and the music was underneath all of it the whole time. Number 5. Where is all this going? The lines have already dissolved because we have Rihanna, who did not collaborate with a fashion house. She built one. Beyonce's Renaissance tour was as much a fashion event as a music event. The outfits were not styled, they were part of the argument the tour was making, and the clothes and the music were saying the same thing in different languages simultaneously. Bad Bunny is one of the most influential figures in global menswear right now, while being primarily known as a musician, because for his generation the idea that those are separate identities simply does not make sense. K-pop, on the other hand, has industrialized the connection entirely. The visual identity of a K-pop act is built with the same precision as the music, because the people behind it understand the sound and image are not separate products, they are one product. The next generation of artists will not think of their music and their visual world as different things that need to be connected. They will understand from the beginning that they were always the same thing. So, what do we conclude after all this? What I really want you to know is that music and fashion are both trying to do the same thing. Make you feel something you cannot fully put into words. Something about who you are, where you belong, what you refuse. And then when they work together, when the music and the clothes are saying the same true thing at the same time, something happens that is bigger than either of them alone. You feel understood. And I think that's what people are really looking for in the music they listen to, the clothes they wear, and the content they keep coming back to. Something that makes them feel understood. Tell me in the comments which music era held the most powerful visual identity. I'm genuinely curious. Subscribe if you want more of this. There is a lot more coming.